Okay, let's start with our ingredients. We have here sesame oil, cracked black pepper. We have Korean soy sauce, which is soy sauce that is for soup. It's saltier and lighter in color than regular soy sauce. After that, we have some Vietnamese fish sauce, which is some really pungent stuff. We have garlic, we have some hot pepper, some lemongrass, all of it dried. Then we have our base vegetables. We have carrots, celery, and onions, pretty standard regular stuff. And we have our protein, which is, in this case, we've got some pork. This is a pork tenderloin. And we also have some chicken thigh as well. First step is pretty easy. Chop the vegetables all on a bias. Here we have some carrots and some onions. Next, we're going to take our pork, which ideally is still a little bit frozen, and we're going to slice it diagonally with a very strong diagonal, so it's more like very thin strips. Next, the pork goes in the Instant Pot along with some cooking oil and about a handful of garlic and then some fresh cracked black pepper on top of it. Once that is in, make sure that there's enough clear space for the garlic to brown a little bit along with the pork. You don't want the whole bottom totally covered. Then turn your Instant Pot on to saute mode so that you get as high a heat as possible to brown the meat. While the pork is cooking, start chopping the chicken in exactly the same way. Hopefully it's still a little bit frozen, and you're going to make strong diagonal slices through it. Again, the slices really shouldn't be more than at most a centimeter wide. As you chop them, go ahead and put them in the pot. It's at this point in the cooking process that I like to add some sesame oil for flavor. Get it right on the meat and right into that Maillard reaction. Once everything is in, then you have to be patient and let the meat cook off some of its moisture. This could take anywhere from a couple of minutes, depending on your Instant Pot model, all the way to like 15 minutes or so. You'll know when there's not any liquid sitting in the bottom of the pot anymore. After you've stirred the pot and you've gotten a good golden brown crust on some of the meat, then go ahead and add in the vegetables, stir them up, and wait for them to get some color on them as well. Once both your meat and your vegetables have some good color on them, and at least one side of them is sort of golden brown, go ahead and add some water into the pot. You're going to want to add enough water to just barely cover the ingredients, and maybe about a centimeter above it. Next, we'll add 1 shot glassful of soup soy sauce. This is saltier Korean soup soy sauce, not regular soy sauce. Next, we add in half a shot of fish sauce. Now, if you like funky, add in a full shot. If you just want it to be a little more subtle, add half a shot. Next, add some dried lemongrass, anywhere from 1 to 3 pinches, all the way up to half a teaspoon. It really depends on how much you like the flavor of lemongrass. If you're used to Vietnamese pho, then you'll probably want to add a little bit more. Give everything a good stir, making sure that all of your ingredients are submerged, nothing is above the water line. And then after that, we're going to set the Instant Pot for about 2 hours of cook time. Bear in mind, even though it's warm from sauteing, it's still not all the way up to temperature, so the heating up time could be up to 30 minutes. You're also going to want to let it cool down, what's called natural release, where you don't have to use the pressure release mechanism. So figure on a 2-hour cook time, but an actual end-to-end cooking time of about 4 hours. After 4 hours, we see everything is nicely cooked, so we're ready to start adding the rice cakes. Slice up your rice cakes into almost thin coins, about half a centimeter thick, and then put them in the soup. Turn the Instant Pot back to saute and let it boil for 8 minutes. While you're waiting for the rice cakes to boil, scramble 2 eggs with a tablespoon of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of salt into an omelet, and then take the omelet out and thinly slice it. Once the rice cakes have finished boiling, ladle them into a bowl and top with the chopped egg, and you have New Year's rice cake soup.